Really appreciate the flexibility there too. I'm actually putting in a video we won't play during my presentation, but it is of our founder and CEO, Louis Borders. Gives about a 2-minute overview of the company. I would invite everybody to take a look at that. If you could go to the next slide. So home delivery service, and our URL is hdsglobal.com, is basically an e-commerce service. And this is our mission: rapid service with personal home delivery, fresher than store groceries, broad selection of general and branded merchandise, along with store prices delivered with no fees or tips. We feel like this is a real key differentiator to all the e-commerce services that are out in the marketplace today. And one of the key advantages to allowing us to do these values to our consumers is our RoboFS, or robotic fulfillment system, which automates the entire fulfillment process for e-commerce. So really the name of the game in e-commerce today is scaling and being profitable. And our automated fulfillment system allows us to do that. Next slide, please. If everybody gets the presentation, you can click on that link, but the link is in the chat also for the video. The major problems that e-commerce providers are encountering today is being able to keep up with the enormous demand and growing demand of e-commerce in the global marketplace. There's a lot of automation that's been leveraged in the fulfillment process. The problem is you still have a lot of human beings in that process. And when it comes to scaling to the demand, our thesis is that you have to really automate the entire fulfillment process. And you can see here, Instacart, Uber are picking from store. There's a lot of issues with that. It's manual labor. Micro fulfillment allows you to automate it to a certain extent. Again, centralized fulfillment allows some automation, but you still have human beings in the process, which really limits the value. Go to the next slide, please. What home delivery service has developed is a shop, fulfill, and deliver e-commerce service that from end to end is one unified platform with hardware and software integrated. We'll talk about case studies later, but we actually can reduce labor by 2/3 in the facility for fulfillment. We also have totes that we deliver our products in instead of cardboard or plastic. So it's very, from a sustainability standpoint, it's great and differentiated. And it's just one-stop shop. We believe the best combination of grocery and general and brand merchandise being offered through e-commerce today. And we have a great selection. There'll be over 100,000 SKUs per fulfillment facility. Next slide, please. If everybody has access to the presentation, there is a video about RoboFS, our robotic fulfillment system. I'm going to jump into kind of the problem today. This is a typical fulfillment center for e-commerce or even distribution. There are a lot of automated sub-processes inside the facility. The problem with these, we call them point solutions, is that at the beginning of the sub-process and at the end of the sub-process, you have human beings that are still in the process. You're automating part of it, but you still have human beings and labor in the process. So being able to scale very fast, especially in the next 5 to 10 years as the demand grows, we really believe that it's not feasible to do it. And the only way to do it is to automate the entire fulfillment process. Next slide, please. So this is RoboFS. It's a touchless robotic fulfillment system. And basically from end to end, we are automating the entire critical path of materials moving through the order fulfillment process. Again, it's a unified platform of hardware and software. You're not integrating third-party vendors like many integration companies like Honeywell do or Intelligrated. It's all one platform, no integration. They're configurable modules, so we can actually size up the operation to scale up if we need to without adding labor. and it's very rapid in installation. We can implement the RoboFS system within 3 months. Again, the reduction in labor is the significant value here in allowing HDS and our fulfillment process to deliver products at store prices without any delivery fees or tips. Next slide, please.
30-second warning.
These are very quickly these are the different modules that are within RoboFS: receive, store, pack, load, and transport. Again, all automated. Go to the next slide. We've done case studies with strategic partners that have invested in HDS in the past. Ingram Micro is one, Toyota is another. They've invested in convertible notes. We've raised $42 million to date. You can see that through these case studies with our partners, we've seen 2/3 headcount reduction, 1/3 less space. If they use the same footprint and packed all of RoboFS in, we could improve their throughput by almost 2x and a SKU expansion of 1.5. Next slide, please. This is just a graphic of the field. The x-axis is completeness of solution. Y-axis is return on investment. You can see there are many point solutions of automation, starting with pick solutions, mobile robots moving materials from A to B within facilities, automated storage and retrieval systems, and then integrators that are really taking a lot of these third-party systems and integrating them. RoboFS is one unified platform that does everything across the fulfillment process and is really highest on the completeness of the solution and return on investment. Next slide, please. And one more slide, please. This is the final slide. So what we're doing with our partners like Ingram Micro and Toyota, they would invest in HDS with a $10 million convertible note. We execute case studies with them to quantify what the financial return would be if we put RoboFS modules into their facilities. We collaborate with them on product requirements for RoboFS. And we have a cadence with their executives where we have quarterly business reviews to share progress, keep collaborating on product requirements to the point where we can get to selling RoboFS modules within their facilities. We are going to focus on the e-commerce service first, and in the next 3 to 4 years, implementing RoboFS into our partner, strategic partner, RoboFS partner programs. We're also getting ready for a Series A round of funding, institutional round of funding of $100 million. And we're going to take that money and actually build the first fulfillment center for our e-commerce service in the San Francisco Bay Area. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Okay, great. So questions for Chris. We really only have time for one question on this panel. So Anna, Jarvis, you want to ask the first question?
Sure. So it seems like a really interesting concept. I'm curious, have you worked with any retailers that do a lot in e-commerce? Like, what has the feedback been about this idea? And
yes. Yeah, so I've actually, not only with HDS, but I was with a company called Seegrid Corporation, where I headed up the sales for 6 years. Had been in probably about 500 facilities: Amazon, General Motors, Goodyear, Jet.com, Bethlehem One, and I've seen probably every type of facility, whether it's logistics, UPS, United States Postal Service. They were all customers of mine, so a lot of my experience comes from that time. And there's a lot of good work being done, and I would tell you that. But it's really kind of on the islands of automation, connecting things together. We haven't really seen where you're going from beginning to end, the critical path of materials, orders flowing through the fulfillment process to getting done under one unifying platform. And that's what we've focused on building at HDS with our initial 42 million that we've raised, solving that really unsolved hard problem of the entire process being automated, where many of our competitors like Instacart just went for the low-hanging fruit, got market share, they're out there doing things with manually. But we really believe that you know, as a last mover coming in, when we solve this hard problem, we're going to be able to take market share from them moving forward.
Okay, we actually do have, I made a mistake. We have one more minute. So let's let Han Ko from Soccer Group ask a question.
Great, great presentation solution. What is the valuation of your company and what kind of IP do you have? Thanks.
So we're pre-revenue right now. With our $100 million raise, we're looking at for it to be, you know, 400 million pre-money is the valuation we're looking for. I'm sorry, the second part of your question, Hanko, I'm sorry. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry, intellectual property, I'm sorry.
Intellectual property. So currently we have 15 patents on RoboFS. We're working on many more that we've already put in for patent. And we just attracted a few really world-class roboticists. Our chief robotics officer, Mitchell Weiss, MIT, also had been at PRI, Brooks Automation. He was the CTO at Seeger Corporation with me in the past, and he's joined as our chief robotics officer. And that's what he does. He's really about developing robotic systems and patenting them. So we really see that accelerating for our moat moving forward. And we're excited about the future here.